Hi everybody, welcome to my greenhouse. Last video that I shot a while back, I said I'd do a little piece on the Dutch buckets, and I thought I would do that today, and we'll see how it turns out. It's been pretty warm here. This past week it's been in the mid to upper 80s. And as soon as the sun comes out and hits this dude, it's over 100 degrees inside. The sides are up, the door's open, the center of the roof is open, of course, but it still gets quite warm. Tomorrow I'm going to go get some shade cloth. It's called a 40% shade cloth, blocks out 40% of the sun. Seems to do a real well job of keeping the heat down. And it helps the plants out quite a bit. Since it is so hot, the Dutch buckets, that system's been going through 5 gallons of water a day. I've got 9 3-gallon buckets and 2 small styrofoam coolers that's probably about the size of a 3-gallon bucket, maybe 4. The buckets I got from the dollar store for $1 a piece. They're black, so what I did is I took white trash bags and wrapped it around it to try and reflect some of the sun, and that seems to be working quite well. I've got a tank buried in the ground. It's 27 gallons, which is not near big enough. I have to add water to it probably about every other day or every third day. I pump water in it and fill it up because it gets down, and of course then the pump, it starts starving for water. If I had it to do over again, I'm not sure that I would have as many buckets as what I've got. What I did this time is I did a lot of experimentation with different varieties of tomatoes, and you'll see that here shortly. Some other things, I've got a cabbage in there and some cucumbers and onions and so on, just to try different things and see how it works. Out of all of the different methods I'm using, and I'm using 3 methods here, the towers, as you've seen earlier, the Kratky box, and the Dutch buckets. I think I like the Dutch buckets probably the best. Each one has its pluses and minuses. The Kratky box is pretty much done now because it is so hot here. Growing lettuce and that type of thing right now is almost impossible. I might try just a little bit again after I get the sun cloth, the sunblock on up top. The system, I run it 3 times a day for about an hour and a half each time, and it rests overnight. And I've just got a simple house timer on the thing, and it seems to be working quite well. The pump come from Harbor Freight. I think it was about 30 bucks, 25 bucks, 30 bucks, something like that. And it's not a complicated system. I'm using perlite as the media. The supply line going to the buckets, I used some of the drip tubing that I had from when I was playing with the drip method, and the return, of course, is PVC. So no rocket science here. I do use the Master Blend formula, and I got that from Bobby, MHP Gardener. He has a video that he explains the nutrient mix and so on up on a whiteboard. It's extremely good. He explains it very well. Thank you so much, Bobby. I really appreciate all your videos and your help. And then there's Brock up north. Hi Brock, how you doing, buddy? We've emailed back and forth, and he's put up with all my questions, and he's been a tremendous help. Got some great videos. He's really a great guy. And these two, I'll post links, of course, at the bottom. If you get a chance, do check out their videos. I think that you'll enjoy them, and there's a lot of useful information there. So, you know, we'll get on with the Dutch buckets now, so you can see how that goes. And if you have any questions on them or have any suggestions, I'm open to all that, because this is new to me too. Put it at the bottom, okay? And if you like it, hit the thumbs up button like everybody else says. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll try this and maybe publish another one here before long. Okay, here's the Dutch buckets, and there's a couple of coolers here on the end that I talked about, and in those I've got some carrots in here, a cabbage, and I've got 2 cucumber plants in the back here, and they are just going nuts. Green onions got here, and you'll see there's a cucumber going there. And then we start out with the buckets, and like I said, I've got 9 of them total. And what I did is I'm trying different varieties of tomatoes. The first 2 are pink brandywine, and I got that idea, of course, from Brock. And if we look in there, there's one of those ones. I think it got a few rads from the nuclear center not far from here. And but anyhow, these things are loaded and blooming like crazy. Down here you'll see some more tomatoes in there. Then I've got a couple of Cherokee purple, and again, these things are they've got fruit hanging all over them. Here's another one of those nuclear tomatoes there. Then this bucket here, I had an extra beefsteak, and I planted him, and he is like the others, just it's full of tomatoes here, and it's blooming like crazy. We'll see if we can't get some pollination going there. The next couple, these are a variety called Castroli, and I got the idea from these from oh, here his name's escaping me. He's over in southern Louisiana. Really a great guy, and I'll post some links on the bottom of the video here for some of these guys. But there you can see one of those getting big, and there's more tomatoes in here. And the stems on these things are just crazy. I don't know if we can see how big those things are or not, but anyhow. Then from Bobby, got the idea of these, and of course these are the big beef, and they are big, and they are full of tomatoes like the others, and growing crazy. And as you can see, this greenhouse, that's the top side rail where the roof meets the wall, so to say, and I've got a string going across here to hold these guys up. And I plan on, when it gets to the string, I'm going to have to bend them up and run some strings up to the peak and tie them up that way. And in the bottom of the tomatoes, you can see down there, I stuck a couple of onion sets in the things. You know, I had some left over, and rather than throwing them out, I thought, well, I just put them in the tomatoes. And everybody seems happy, going like crazy, drinking water like crazy. So tomorrow I'm going to go and get some sunshade cloth, and I'll use the 40%. I'll get that and then put it on, because it is getting the days that it's getting the mid 80s or whatever, the sun hits this thing and it's up over 100, and that's probably one reason why these things are going through so much water. So anyhow, that's the Dutch bucket. I thought while I was at it, I'd do just a quick one on the towers. The tomatoes, as you can see, they're just hanging everywhere. There's beefsteak and mortgage lifter in here, 2 varieties, and both of them are going crazy. The jalapenos in here, there you go, they look pretty doggone good. I've got one plant out of the 4 in top of here that's kind of looking wimpy, and I'm not sure why. you know. And then some more peppers over here in the next tower, Swiss chard there, going crazy. There's a bell pepper there, and then there's some double delight peppers there. I've never had those before, so we're going to try them. But anyhow, you can see there's some squash running along the floor there. Another tower, more jalapenos. Yes, we can the jalapenos here. They're great. We can them as a bread and butter pickle recipe. They're a little zippy, not bad. A little bit sweet. Really great, fantastic. Got my sage going here. I've never been able to grow sage here, and it took out from the towers. Another pepper over here, and I've got some rosemary growing in the tower up here, and I've never been able to grow rosemary here. So we've got a couple of wins on the towers here, and they look pretty good. A couple of cucumbers over here, and they're going crazy too. And kohlrabi, he's sneaking in back there. There's one. We've got another one over there. Let's see if I can get a picture of him. There he is. He's probably about ready to eat, I guess. I haven't had those yet. This is my first experience growing those. So anyhow, there you have it. It is starting to rain, so we're going to shut this guy off, and we'll call this a day on this. But anyhow, I wanted to give an update. I said earlier that I would, and this is the update on the greenhouse. If you like it, thumbs up. Got any questions or comments, post them down there at the bottom, and I'll try and answer them. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Brock and Bobby. Have a good day, everybody.